So welcome to this webinar on education and career support. We have an amazing lineup of speakers for you today. We will be looking at how accessible education is during cancer therapy and what might be some examples of school re-entry and what are some legal bases for patient advocacy in this area. Advice and guidance are very important. More than half of the people voting said that all points are important.
And these may be difficulties conversating in a noisy environment because of some hearing problems. These may be difficulties in memorizing passwords because of memory problems, managing a whole day because of the fatigue symptoms. So just a few examples, and we can add many more. And I think the most important aspect is that these disadvantage compensations have to be adapted according to the individual functioning health status and the individual participation needs.
I highlighted the mostly mentioned late effects, so 6 of them have some hormonal failures, 4 of them some visual and neurological difficulties. The helpful aspects in educational and career support programs from the survivor's point of view. So the participants mentioned in several places in the focus group the importance of individuality. So on the one side, they offer individual programs for educational and career support for people with oncological diseases. The programs which are adapted to their needs and requirements of the survivors.
We have around 500,000 young people with a physical condition who just want to work. And this includes many survivors of youth cancer. And we all know there is a big gap between these young people and the labor market. This is Emma at Work. This is a company which started in a hospital in Amsterdam, the Emma Children's Hospital. And they offer a so-called gap track, which enables companies to hire young people between 18 and 39 via this agency. And the companies can become a member and pay a fee. And in return, they can hire people which can be linked to a buddy, a mentor. So that's an employee working at this company. And those two form like a little bond. And then the candidate even can get job coaching if needed.
Stigma has many different phases. But right here, talking about cancer, we first have to look at the fact in question, which, as it's already there, is cancer. After that, you have a thought. That thought comes in many different questions. For example, well, if this person has cancer, what if this happens? We can see that, as in all social behaviors, driven by collective thoughts, what usually happens is that you have one individual that plants a reasonable doubt or thought in another individual. And this process happens over and over again. You have all of these individuals that start planting reasonable doubts.
The first card will focus on education and is addressed to student survivors and to their teachers and caregivers. And the second card is addressed to young survivors that are working, to their employers, to young survivors who are currently looking for a job, and also for their caregivers and healthcare professionals in general. We have to share accurate, understandable, and honest information in an age-appropriate way. So as well, not only for young survivors, but also for older ones. And this is one thing we want to achieve with our toolkit.
And these resources are either, for example, websites or brochures or services or programs where you can find help to your problems in your country and in your language as well. Please do not hesitate to send them to us so we can add them to our resource toolkit to make them available for as many people as possible.
We would just like to acknowledge every single speaker who has participated in our panel today. Much love to everyone. Thank you so much for your participation and see you next month.